That breaking news tonight as Chicago mourns the death of a police commander gunned down in the line of duty. Chicago's police superintendent and mayor arriving tonight at the 18th District Station to talk to the officers there who were led by Commander Paul Bauer.
The 53-year-old shot this afternoon in a stairwell at the Thompson Center at the height of a very busy work day. Bauer is the highest-ranking member of the CPD to be killed in decades.
We have live team coverage on this tonight on his career and the tributes that are pouring in, plus witness accounts of that shocking scene in the loop when the gunshots rang out. Investigative reporter Chuck Gowdy leading our coverage tonight. Chuck?
Alan, streets still around the Thompson Center tonight are blockaded by police. They do have a person in custody, a career criminal. He hasn't been charged yet for the incident that authorities say began with a routine street stop of a known felon.
Anybody get hurt? Just wanted to do a street stop on him, and he took off on me, but he was in the area where we've had a lot of narcotic sales and a shooting on Saturday.
It was that suspicious man on the run when Near North District Commander Paul Bauer spotted him a few minutes later. Bauer had just left a training session here at the Thompson State Center.
We need some help over there. State of Illinois building towards City Hall.
Other officers on the foot chase arrested the accused shooter. He's seen here being put in a police car, and apparently he'd been wearing a bulletproof vest.
We're in the plaza over here by the state building. Just slow down. He's got cuffs on him and everything. Just relax. They're on the plaza at the staircase.
At that moment, those officers had no way to know that Commander Bauer had been shot and was incommunicado, wounded in a stairwell. A minute later, Bauer was spotted.
Off the shot, off the down.
Commander Bauer had been hit several times and was taken to Northwestern Hospital, where his death was announced.
I've been meeting with his wife and daughter. It's a difficult day for us, but we will get through it.
After 31 years with CPD, Bauer leaves behind a legion of colleagues who are trying to get through the devastating death. Chicago law enforcement sources tonight tell the I-Team that the suspect in custody but not yet charged has a long history of gun, drug, and armed robbery charges. Reporting live from outside the Thompson Center, Chuck Gowdy, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
And Chuck, just within the last hour, Mayor Rahm Emanuel and Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson met with the officers there at the 18th District. Eyewitness News reporter Liz Nagy is live there in Old Town, where the mayor and the top cop also just spoke with the media. Liz?
Alan, tonight, Mayor Emanuel, a visibly emotional mayor, called today a gut punch to the city of Chicago. He said he spent the evening with the commander's wife and daughter before coming here to the 18th Police District to address the police commander's police family. The police superintendent and mayor arrived to comfort the men and women of the 18th District. Tonight's patrol will be different. These sworn officers have lost their leader.
Paul, the selflessness was his standard. He's an individual defined by his decency and his sense of duty.
Commander Paul Bauer ran the Near North Side District. Former CPD Superintendent Gary McCarthy, who lives in the district, said of the veteran, "There are those officers you recognize when you meet them as special, and Paul fit that mold to a T, which is why I promoted him twice while I was police superintendent."
Today, the city of Chicago lost a piece of itself, and CPD certainly lost a huge piece of itself.
He was a popular face at community meetings and known for his casual approach to constituents with monthly chats during his pet program, Coffee with the Commander.
Really just reached out to everybody. You know, there'd be 20 or 30 people here, and he would just always, try and talk to each one of them individually.
Tonight at the 18th District Police Precinct, the loss of Commander Paul Bauer is personal. One community leader said Commander Bauer personified community policing. Now the flags will be lowered, black bands will go over the police badges, and Eddie Johnson is asking the entire city and his officers to remember Commander Bauer's legacy. Reporting live in Old Town tonight, Liz Nagy, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Thanks, Liz. Commander Paul Bauer was on duty for some of Chicago's biggest events, including the NATO protests and the 2013 Hawks Stanley Cup Championship. Tonight, we're learning more about his long career with the department as his fellow officers honored him with an emotional procession this evening. Our Rob Elgus here with more tonight.
Kathy, Commander Bauer was taken to the medical examiner this afternoon as hundreds of officers and firefighters paid their respects. A procession for a man who took pride in working with the department's horses as well as the community he served in.
Passing by a mounted patrol, Commander Paul Bauer's procession began as the sun set. 4 miles away on West Harrison, rows of police officers and firefighters stood silent to salute the commander who lost his life today. Commander Bauer's body arrived at the medical examiner's office just more than 3 hours after he was fatally shot.
We're happy to meet you, and we're happy for your support.
WCIU's The Jam featured Commander Bauer last fall. During his 30-plus year career with CPD, Bauer worked extensively with the Mounted Patrol, commanding the Mounties during some huge Chicago events, like the Stanley Cup celebration for the Blackhawks in 2013. Dozens of horses stood watch, working under Bauer. Commander Bauer believed the community cared about work his district was doing.
And there's a perception out there that there's this wall or there's a lot of mistrust with the police department. On my perspective, I've never been thanked more for my service in the last 2 to 3 years total combined compared to the previous 28 years.
Most of the mounted patrol horses in the Chicago Police Department are named after fallen police officers. Davenport, Valadez, Darcy, all Mounties that have patrolled our streets, and there will almost certainly be a Bauer that now joins their ranks.
All right, Rob, thank you. It was a crowded state office complex, middle of the day, and then gunshots. The panic and confusion at the Thompson Center. Tonight, first-hand accounts from people who were right there when all of this played out. ABC 7's Eric Hong was one of the first reporters there on the scene with live coverage today. Eric?
Alan, witnesses say when they heard the gunfire, they had no idea how many shooters there were or where they were. And so people started running.
Moments after the shooting,
Everyone out of the street.
fear and confusion.
Get everybody out of the street. I got another roll of tape.
Law enforcement swarming to the Thompson Center, U.S. Marshals, state police, ATF, and FBI, as well as Chicago police officers armed to the teeth.
I heard shots, and then I started thinking terrorist attack. Everybody started running. I'm talking about it was like a scene out of a movie.
The cavernous atrium echoing with gunfire. In the bustling basement food court, terror.
People started running to the escalator, and they were all trying to get up the escalator at the same time.
I saw people out on the plaza wildly running, screaming, "There's been shots, there's been shots."
Amid the chaos, a desperate attempt to save Commander Bauer's life.
He was covered with blood, and they were pumping his chest as they were trying to get him on the stretcher. It was shocking to see, to be so close to it.
Tonight, it's unclear exactly when the Thompson Center will reopen to the public, but regardless, some of those witnesses telling us it could be some time before they're ready to come back here. Live at the Thompson Center, Eric Hong, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.